Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Footballing View. Andre Santos has signed for Manchester United. I'm going to give you my full analysis and observation of this transfer, and I'm going to try and be completely fair but honest with you. So, surface level, right? Manchester United we want Anderson. Anderson is our guy. Anderson is our high priority target. Okay, we didn't get Anderson. We didn't get Anderson because City came in and offered more money and better wages, right? Okay, it's fine. City got Anderson. Oh, let's go for Fernandes. He's had a good season with West Ham. He clearly is in demand. The data says he's the right guy. Let's go for Matheus Fernandes. Tottenham get Matheus Fernandes. Okay. What do we go now? Tonali. I know. Let's go for Tonali. Tottenham have got Tonali as well. Tchouaméni. Let's go for Tchouaméni. Although to come to United, he needs a wage cut. He's also explicitly said if Madrid don't want to sell him, then he's not going to leave Madrid. He's also just extended his contract. It's not likely at all. It's probably not going to happen. Okay. Alex Scott. Let's go with Alex Scott. Bournemouth won 80 million for him and don't actually wish to sell the player. Okay. What do we do now? I know, let's go and get Andre Santos, a bench player for Chelsea who's worth 50 million. And that's why I think it looks like a horrendous deal for Manchester United. Because, you miss out on your top targets and you throw 50 million at Chelsea for a bench player. And that's why a lot of the fan base is very, very negative right now. Because the names that fans were hoping to get this transfer window have all just gone to different clubs, or it's just players that we're not going to get. And we've ended up with Edison, a 27-year-old from Atalanta, who we have no idea how he's going to cope with the league. Also, quick side note here, I'm really worried about Edison's medical. I've just had a bad feeling about it these past few days, and also there's been a few reports and rumors of minor injuries from Edison from Brazil and the US and stuff, so it is a bit worrying, Edison's medical. But getting back on topic again, the Santos deal contextually doesn't seem like a good deal. Well, it doesn't look like a good deal at all. It looks horrendous, right? We didn't get our top targets. We've thrown 50 million at Chelsea for one of their bench players, and he's probably going to be starting for us at Manchester United. And that's the problem. That's the problem about it. We've just paid for a player who's been sitting on Chelsea's bench and is probably going to start for us. We finished third. They finished 10th, and we're buying bench players from them to come and start for us. And I think the reaction of the fan base to the deal would be very different if, you get Tonali along with Edison and Santos. You get Anderson along with Edison and Santos. You get Matheus Fernandes along with Edison and Santos. I think that's very different. But the problem is Santos is probably going to start for us. Edison came in, most of us said, well, he isn't our first choice, but if he's coming in to be the fourth or the third choice midfielder, we don't mind it whatsoever. But that's the problem. Edison is not our fourth choice midfielder. He's not. And the problem with Edison, Santos, and Mainu now is they're quite similar players. Look, I'll be honest, and I said I'll be honest at the start of the show. I haven't watched much of Andre Santos this season, but from what I've heard, from the reports I've heard, from what I've heard of Chelsea fan channels, the tweets, from the subreddits, from the threads, you can conclude that Chelsea fans are actually really angry about selling him because they really like him. And look, I don't know if he's not another Fred. I don't know if he's another Casemiro. But he can't be a Casemiro. And while we're on Casemiro, we've not replaced Casemiro at all. Andre Santos and Edison is not a replacement for Casemiro at all. Tchouaméni would have been a replacement for Casemiro, but we're not going to get Tchouaméni. Santos is just not a replacement for Casemiro. He's a player that likes ball to feet, ball under pressure, and has great passing ability. He's an intelligent player. He engages in duels. However, he can be a bit lacking when it comes to size and physical strength. And that just reminds me of Mainu. Mainu loves receiving the ball under pressure and passing out. He provides that composure. And when people describe Santos, he sounds very similar to Kobbie Mainu. He sounds very, the player profile is exactly. And look, if you bring Santos in to be not the replacement, but basically the bench player for Mainu, so if Mainu's not fit, if you want to bring Mainu off to give him a rest, Santos would come in. But the problem is now Santos is probably going to play next to Mainu. Our midfield is very lacking in size, in speed, and its defensive capabilities are just not good. And this is why I have a problem with the Santos deal. Because we're not replacing Casemiro at all. We're just buying these players, these young players, and hoping they can become good in the future and make us a profit. And on that topic, is Carrick really being backed? Would you say Carrick is being backed? Carrick is basically a new manager. I know he was an interim, but let's be honest, this is his first transfer window. This is his first season to actually rebuild. And he's gotten Edison and Santos. Even Amarim's first transfer window was better than this. At least we rebuilt the whole attack. Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko. Carrick is not being backed whatsoever. You don't back a manager by buying a bench player for Chelsea and a 27-year-old in the Italian league, which is not good, and then probably has a few minor injuries. Look, I'm really worried about this Edison medical. I've already mentioned it, but I'm really worried about the Edison medical. But yeah, that problem with the Santos deal is contextually it looks horrendous. We haven't gotten our big players, so we're going to Chelsea. He's throwing money at Chelsea to get a bench player for them, and he's going to start for us. And with the reports from Edison of his medical, and in Edison's medical might be failing. Is Santos just the backup for Edison if Edison's medical fails? That's the question. But anyway, that's the video. I yapped on for 8 minutes. Let me know what you think about the Edison Santos deal in the comments. Personally, I would give it maybe 4 or 5 out of 10. But look, if he becomes a world beater next season, I don't really care. But yeah, let me know what you think about Santos. Like, subscribe, and have a good day.